Hey, what's up, the sky? I know. Don't get smart with me, bitch. That is such a weird intro. Anyways, I have my notes and I'm ready to give you some insider knowledge on how to make the perfect reel. If you're a dancer or maybe even just like a content creator or influencer, anything, you're probably wondering, who is this guy to tell me how to make Instagram reels? I'm just showing you how to edit it for this video. If you're wanting more of an in-depth video disclosing how I film and choreograph the dance videos, I can do them in a separate video, but today we are just focusing on editing. So I filmed this morning a dance video in an abandoned barn. It was a bit weird, I can't lie. I don't know what the title for the video is yet, but if I've put something clickbaity like how to film viral video, it's not actually viral. I had one video kind of semi blow up, it got 70k views, and now I think I'm a fucking influencer. So actually my videos will be a bit backwards, aren't they always? Obviously I'd have to choreograph the dance first, then I would film it and then edit it. So we're working backwards, but... So obviously the very first step is to choose out of all your content which video you want to post. Especially when you're dancing, there might be one move that you do a bit oh, I don't really like how that looked. Or in this case, this morning I filmed quite a lot of videos. Firstly, the angle was completely wrong, you could barely even see me. You don't want to have to post-edit lighting that much, but you want the lighting to look flawless whilst you're filming it. It's just very difficult. I would say honestly that's the most difficult part of post-editing dance videos is lighting. In this case, the last video I filmed, the sun came out, it was perfect, my energy was high, I was really kind of pushing it with my performance, if I do say so myself. But sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes the very first video you film is the best and it is the way it is. So definitely go through every video that you film and just make sure you're choosing the right one that you want to edit. Very obvious part of the process is choosing what editing software to use. As it's on my phone, I'm just going to use VideoStar. I know what some of you are probably thinking, isn't VideoStar that literally 2012 era? I swear everyone was using it in year 7 to make very cringy music videos, myself included. I suppose it really doesn't matter what you choose for editing, it's your personal preference, but for me and for this video I'm going to show you VideoStar, so I recommend you do that, especially if it's short form content like reels. Please, if you use a free software to edit with, do not use one that has a watermark. That looks so bad. I hate it. Take that into consideration, especially when you export it. There are ways around it. You screen record it. It's just a lot. You don't want to be cropping your video for a watermark. No. VideoStar is incredibly good for short form content. You wouldn't want to edit a YouTube video on it, obviously. It's free, I believe, in the App Store. There are features that you can purchase in the app. If you're wanting a specific filter or something, it's literally 99p. I can't lie, if you've never used VideoStar before, it can be a bit daunting, but I will break it down very slowly. Third step is to import all your footage. This includes the actual song. So what I normally do is whatever song I'm using, I'll screen record it on Spotify and then I will upload that as the base soundtrack. What I tend to have to do with VideoStar, and if you've used it before you'll know exactly what I mean, I have to kind of think ahead, especially with the soundtrack. I do cross-reference the soundtrack of the song to my dance video and crop it meticulously, because there is not really a way you can crop the actual soundtrack, if that makes sense, when you've imported it. Maybe there is, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, so the major part of this video that I wanted to share, and the main tool that I use in VideoStar, is the keyframes feature. Essentially, it's from one frame of the video to the next. How do I describe this better? Say if I wanted the left part of the video to travel to the right, I would need 2 keyframes, one from the left and one to the right, basically, yeah? So it goes across. That is basically the logistics of it. You can also use zoom ins and zoom out. You can use a zoom in to the right. You can accompany both, direction and zooming at the same time. If you are new to the keyframes, you will probably have to practice a bit. It's very confusing. Or maybe I'm just f***ing dense and I could not get it for the life of me. There are also presets you can use, but please do not. You want the focus to be on the dance itself, not the amazing editing and post-production. There's a time and a place for that, but Video Star is not even going to accomplish that anyway. It's a very simple software, so let's keep it simple. I've also seen a lot on Reels, which is quite a good option, is face tracking. I think it's a filter on TikTok, this face tracking thing. It like follows your face whilst you dance. I do not like the face tracking thing for the reason that I do think some movement gets lost. You can't emphasize the arm if your face is being tracked constantly. Hopefully the keyframes make sense, but honestly this is the bread and butter of the editing that I do for my Reels. There's a bit more to the video. Like if I do a side-by-side comparison, here's it with no editing at all, and here's it with some keyframes. It just elevates it a lot more. Even if there is no other editing that I do post-production and it's just the keyframes, I'm fine with that. If you want to be a little bit extra, you don't have to do this step, but this is what I normally do on my Reels. Just to introduce the song, I never want to, you know, discredit the artist. You have to always put the song that you're using. Instagram is quite good. It has this option where you can like find the song and add it on. Definitely put in your captions the song that you're using. But to further like credit them, I normally put a title card at the very beginning of the video or at the end sometimes. In the title cards, I usually put the dancers involved, who choreographed it, but mainly I'll put the artist and the song and the soundtrack, you know. To make a title card, a Video Star has trash text, like it's awful. But what I normally do is go into Bazaar. It's a separate app. I think the app is still free to download, but I think you have to pay for a subscription to access all of its features. The title card, I basically just make a PNG format photo of the title. I don't like a lot of the fonts. It's very difficult to find a font that doesn't look like, you know, tacky. But for this video, because it's like fashion, I may do like the Vogue inspired font. We ain't fucking Comic Sans on that bit. Like, if you want the title card to be a PNG, which I normally do, so it's overlaying the video with me in it, import the PNG, it will look like a black screen, but then if you go on multi-layer and then add a mask, you can delete all the black, you know, and remove it, or whatever. It could be green if you're using a green screen. There are probably ways you can use text and make a title card just on the video itself, and like I say, I do think Video Star has some text, but I don't like it, so I'm not doing it. And the final step that I do is I crop the video on either side, make a fade in or a fade out. In this case, I added some flashing lights to make it look like cameras were going off. That was just an effect that I added. Reviewing it back at the very end, I will normally add a color or change the saturation of things. It's very easily done. They have some amazing presets, to be honest. And then finally, I just upload the video to my Reels. I normally post it on my profile grid for a while and then I'll like remove it, but I don't remove it from my Reels obviously. But yeah, I have a few on my Instagram. I really hope the editing worked out and it made sense in correspondence to what I'm saying. Obviously I'm not editing whilst doing this. Also, I don't know if I can edit alongside the actual music I chose because of copyright issues on YouTube. But if you do want to watch the final product with all of the soundtrack, do head over to my Instagram. I post Reels quite often, especially dance ones. This wasn't necessarily like a serious tutorial. I'm really bad at explaining shit. I waffle on. Again, I'm going to be making a video soon on how I choreograph the dances and how I film them, so that should be interesting. I hope you enjoyed today's video. See you in my next video. Bye!